Da 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 da. You know, I thought I could be cool. You know, James Bond cool, 007. Forget it. I'm out. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's DaBoss with another video today. And I know, first off, that today is Tuesday. Shouldn't be that too much of a big deal. I decided to do the video early, so let's just address that very quickly. Today, guys, I want to do my James Bond from Russia review. For those of you guys who've been watching the channel for a little while now, or have been consistently at the live streams, you will know that several weeks back we went and completed the game with, I believe, 4 live streams or something like that. But we played the game, had a lot of fun, it was a good time, looking forward to doing more games in the future, but that's here nor there. Today we're going to be giving my thoughts and opinions on the game as a whole, and whether or not I think it still holds up today, as the game is aged pretty well, I think. Start off, basically the whole premise of James Bond from Russia with Love is he plays the tutelar character James Bond, aka 007. You're basically going on a mission over to Russia to retrieve a Lector device that basically can decode any code or message in the world, and you have to steal it. And of course, James did not know at the time he's being set up at the same time by a rival organization known as Octopus, who want to humiliate him, trick him to stealing the Lector, kill him, and then recover it for themselves, all the while exacting revenge for the death of one of their associates known as Dr. No, which, by the way, was a very good James Bond movie. That's basically the whole premise of the game. There's a lot of other characters and events spliced in, but that's basically the premise. He gets the device, he kills the bad guys involved, gets revenge for the death of his friend earlier on in the game, and overall, James Bond once again saves the day. Pretty standard stuff, right? Well, that's the story as a whole. If I had to talk about that a little bit, the premise is definitely better than I think from the movie. Key differences from the movie to the game are, like, for example, Red, one of the main guys that's hired by Octopus to kill James and get the Lector device. In the movie, he dies. Like, there's a part in the game where you have to engage him in a gunfight, which is pretty cool, by the way. And he actually dies, though, in the movie, in that scene. He gets run over by a train, that's it. However, there's an ended part of the game after the whole main story is done. The whole premise of it is getting the device and you escape with this girl that was helping you the whole time, pretty much. But at the end of it, you have to infiltrate an Octopus base and disable a nuclear device. Red comes back in the game version, and you have to kill him that way. You blow up the robot, he walks up to him, shoots him in the head, and takes revenge for his friend. But that doesn't happen in the movie, which I think it was a really good added touch with the developers decided not to go, you know, like script for script, I guess you could say, from the movie. Which I know a lot of movie tie-in games do that, and I wouldn't say that all of them are 100% accurate, because a lot of movie tie-in games I've noticed aren't, but I'm glad that this one has some originality to it, even though it is based off of an actual movie. I like the fact that this tie-in game actually has its own little charm and personality, and it adds stuff that wasn't in the movie into the game, and that's what I think helps makes it unique more for the story sense. To get the story part out of the way, I actually want to talk more about the gameplay and how it handles. You obviously control James Bond, and in this amazing game, the game itself takes place in a series of mission levels. You go to all sorts of different areas. 1 minute you're running around as James trying to infiltrate an embassy, disabling bombs, shooting down helicopters, and rescuing hostages. Other parts of the game you're driving around in a car around the streets of Russia with your rockets, your bulletproof armor, and your machine guns, trying to evade the Russians and completing certain goals while trying to avoid getting killed. There are other parts where you play as James and you have to go and kill enemy soldiers, save hostages, and do main story parts such as kill a main member of the game, for example, in different open world level areas, which again I really think was a really good aspect of the game. So overall, I think the overall open worldness of the game is done very, very well, especially for 2005, which this game, 2018 is 13 years old in the PS2, but this game, in my opinion, has aged like a fine wine. I've grown up with this game for quite a few years, and I was really glad to play it again on stream. And it just reminded me so much of why I love the game and why it's my favorite James Bond game. Nightfire, or whatever that other game was on PS2, didn't do it for me. The first-person perspective didn't do it for me. The controls were pretty clunky, graphics weren't the best, and overall the game didn't play that well. But this game, though, is completely different. The graphics hold up very, very well for 2005 standards for rendering on the PS2. The explosions, the gunfire, the enemies, the different areas like a giant mausoleum over in Russia, or the streets of Russia, you know, in the nighttime with like the reflections off of the street lamps, the design of the buildings, they look so detailed. The character models hold up pretty well true, and of course, Sean Connery himself voices the main character, James Bond, which I'm really glad that they actually got him for the video game to voice his original character, which was really nice. Other than the whole graphics thing, I think it all really holds up really well. It's one of those games where the whole 3D aspect is done very, very well for the PS2, and it's definitely better than a lot of other games that I've seen from the PS1 and even PS2 standards. So, but the graphics as a whole, though, I think were really, really good in this movie, and, well, not movie, game, and I think that they hold up nicely today, even by 2005 standards. Besides the graphics and the story, though, guys, the one other main thing that I want to go over with this game that pretty much sums up the entire thing is the controls. James doesn't handle heavy. He feels... The best way for me to describe it is he's not light to control when you're, you know, moving your thumb around the D-pad or the control pad or the joystick trying to maneuver him around the different levels and obstacles with different weapons. The controls work really well. Like with the car, I feel like if I had to have a complaint, though, about the controls, like James himself handles fine, whether it be crouching, whether it be shooting, whether it be jumping over walls. He's very tight, very responsive. The controls over there have a little bit of weight, but that adds, I think, overall to the... It's the better control of him as a human. It's like you're actually controlling yourself, in a way, in the game. So I really like that with James. The car, however, the car levels in the game are some of my least favorite, mostly because the car, it works really smoothly. It works too fast, though. When you're going around corners, you find yourself crashing, especially when you're being chased by enemies. It's definitely not perfect. Again, it's too fast. The controls are a little bit too slick for the turns and the obstacles that you have to do, especially in the really, really tight chase level where you have to get back to the train station after you steal the Lecter device from this giant safe. And you're being chased by helicopters, oil trucks, oil drums, guys with machine guns and rocket launchers of their own and other cars. It's crazy stuff. And I remember when I played it on stream, we barely got back to the train station with like a fingernail of health. And they're, again, graphically wise and gameplay wise, very, very nice. I really enjoy them. The controls of the car, really too slick for me. And they don't handle naturally like what a car actually would, which I don't really expect them to be like spot-for-spot detail, especially from the PS2. But even so, though, I think if the car would have been tweaked a little bit, I could have said better things about it, but overall, it's alright, I guess, just not my favorite thing. But overall, though, the controls in the game, very, very nice. Actually really like them, especially, again, by 2005 standards. But overall, taking all the things that I've said into account, just considering the controls, the graphics, the story, the character, and just this game as a whole, besides the car controls, I really don't have any complaints about the game. Really enjoy it. Very nostalgic for it. And again, it was an honor to be playing it on stream and complete it with all you guys watching that come to the streams. But if I had to give this game an overall rating, I would probably give this game an 8 out of 10. It's not perfect by any means. The game still does have a couple of issues, along with the car controls and various other parts, especially with the weapons and stuff, weapon pickups and whatnot. But overall, very nicely spliced to the game, very nice amount of ammo that you can pick up, and the guns are very nice wide range, except some of them don't work as well as they should. But overall, though, it's a very nice game. I'm very happy about this game. I'm happy to have owned it for all this time. Everything is amazing about it except for a couple of things, and that's why I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 for an overall number rating. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like on it, and if you did enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you're new, or turn on bell notifications if you guys want to catch more of my stuff, and or videos and live streams. Comment down below what you guys thought of my review, and what you guys thought of From Russia with Love if you guys have personally played it, as well as any other games that you may want me to review. But let me know all that down below, guys, and until next time, this has been your boy DaBoss. I'll catch you dudes later. Peace.